Well, well found, Port Charles. A most friendly place.
Nice accommodations, good people, fine restaurants.
Hefty bank accounts?
Sorry?
Well, I was referring to the mean income. It's very high around here, you know.
That's hardly one of our major concerns.
Our interests are more, well, personal.
Oh, yes, oil. That is the reason we're all here, isn't it? That viscous black substance that has the power to conjure up dollar signs wherever it flows. You know, except for a hunk of gold, I can't think of anything else that has the power to inspire such lust and greed in the hearts of men.
It's an interesting concept. I never thought of it that way before.
Oh, come on now, Basil. You can't fool an old fox like me. I know the Corso family. It's just like the Quartermains. If we hadn't been born in such sumptuous surroundings, we'd all be nothing more than gamblers and thieves, eh?
Is that so?
No, you betcha. Big business is a big gamble. Without the millions to back us up, we'd all be pitching pennies in garbage-strewn alleyways.
Well, that's a very colorful philosophy, Edward. Thank goodness we have the money to...
Yeah?
To, as you put it, back us up.
Well, it's exactly as I remembered it. I guess you've been running into a lot of memories lately, huh?
Mostly good memories, I'm happy to report, Steve.
Right this way, Dr. Hardy.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Oh, now there's an appetizing sight.
But there are other considerations.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
What?
It's a dreadful concept.
I know, but it's a reality.
Why don't you forget it and let somebody else take care of the sick?
I took an oath as a surgeon.
You took an oath last night, too.
Yes, I meant it.
I know.
But I have to get back to the hospital.
You're going to be leaving for 5 weeks. Remember?
I have things to take care of.
You have to take care of me first.
Of the, what? Omnipotent mega buck. That's it. Materialism, wealth, possessions. I tell you, Robert, there's something so wonderful about all this.
Yeah, that's the age-old American dream, pal.
No, I prefer to call it greed.
No, wait a minute. No. That's in communist circles. We have capitalism to hide behind.
Capitalism. Capitalism is a very underrated commodity. Capitalism, much like mocha almond fudge and a woman's navel.
I haven't seen a woman's navel for such a long time.
We'll put a little mocha almond fudge on top and you'll really like it.
Well, I have a far more pressing problem here, like how to cram 8,000 oil wells into 100 acres.
Interesting dilemma.
Indeed.
Morning.
I think your clock's off, darling. It's afternoon.
Whatever.
Where was the last place you saw a face like that?
I wouldn't begin to tell you.
This gentleman is the face of a scooped reporter.
You don't look stooped to me.
I said scooped, as in missing the boat. I didn't get to do the Vangelder interview. Can you believe it? Ian actually gave it to Harlan. I mean, Harlan can't even find his way out of a paper bag.
What do you care? That's back page news. The guy left town.
Not the way I heard it.
You know something that we don't?
I hate to break the news to you, but Harlan went over and interviewed Vangelder this morning. The professor's still in town.
That's impossible.
I was there when Harlan came in with his notes.
Well, we talked to Vangelder just 2 days ago, right here. He said he was leaving town.
Right after he talked to us.
Well, he must have changed his mind then, because he's still in town.
Unless he didn't leave, maybe he never had any intention of leaving.
Yeah, but why would he do that?
Just to throw us off. Maybe it'd send us down the wrong road.
Hey, come on now, let's not getting paranoid about this. There's got to be a logical explanation.
Do you have it?
I'm not Vangelder.
No, Robert, something's wrong here.
Come on, the guy changed his mind. What's the big deal about that?
Well, normally there wouldn't be a big deal, Jackie, but there's too many things now. Just too much sourness.
For instance, give me
For instance, Al Barker's death. For instance, the Texas shale sample.
2 good points.
Yeah, but he wasn't a geologist, and neither are we. And we can't forget you have 3 test holes coming up with salt water.
Salt water is not oil.
Yes, but the foreman says it is, and Harper's already backed up what Vangelder's said. Now, look, suspicions or not, you cannot refute evidence like that.
No, come on, Robert. You know me. I can't stand evidence. I have to go on my intuition.
Yeah, Laura, look, intuition's great for picking racehorses and dates, but we're dealing in science, and science deals only in fact.
I deal in feelings. Did the reporter say how long Vangelder was going to be in town?
If he did, I missed it. But the article's going to be out tonight. Maybe there's some mention in there.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I'm prepared to listen to whatever explanation this guy's got to offer.
Got it.
You can redecorate all you want, Steve. Still the same hospital to me.
We've had a lot of staff changes since you left us, Mark.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Well, I hope it hasn't affected the quality of care.
Oh, not one iota, I'm happy to say. Tell me, how's your sister, Gina?
Oh, she's happy, I think. She's been in a research grant for quite a while now.
Still in Houston?
Yeah, she loves it. Matter of fact, ever since Katie died, she's been trying to get me to move there.
Well, it's nice to have family around, especially when you lose someone close.
Yeah, that's true. I found out one thing, though. When you lose somebody close, you take life a little less for granted. You know, I loved Katie with everything I had. And after she was gone, I don't think I ever told her enough. I don't think she even knew. Not really.
She knew, Mark. And I'm sure she loved you just as much.
Thanks, Steve. It's a nice thing to say.
Hey, I mean it,
No, I know. Well, getting back to medicine, I want to tell you, I wish every chief of staff I worked for was as good as you.
You don't think I'd come on a little strong sometimes?
Sure you do, Chief. That's how people know you care.
Now, if I recall, you were pretty much the same way yourself.
Yeah, I certainly was. And I don't intend to change.
Which makes us more or less like 2 peas in a pod.
2 peas in a pot, huh? Here's the 2 peas in a pot. No, thanks.
Oh, check, please. Well, let's discuss profits. It's always been my favorite subject.
Your wife's investment was a wise one. You can expect to triple or even quadruple your investment by year's end.
Oh, that's music to my ears. What are the chances of the stock splitting?
Well, between you and me, very, very good.
My word, to think I owe all this to a little gray-haired lady who up until now never made a worthwhile investment other than Bullun Pharmaceuticals.
Bullun? Really?
Yeah.
I made a killing on that stock. Do you remember, Charles?
Yes, a wise investment, Mr. Quarterman.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, Mark, have you ever met Edward Quartermain?
Who?
Edward Quartermain.
No, I don't think so. I know Alan and Monica.
Well, he's Alan's father.
Oh.
He and his wife, Lila, must have come here to Port Charles after you left. He's on our hospital board. Would you like to meet him? He's right over there.
Yeah, sure, it's fine with me, as long as we're not interrupting anything.
Oh, no. I have some business to discuss with him anyway. Hello, Edward. I hope we're not interrupting anything.
No. We're just discussing another $1 million business deal, Steve. Do you know the Corsos? This is Basil, Charles. This is Dr. Steve Hardy, Chief of Staff of General Hospital.
How do you do? And this is Dr. Dante, who used to be on my staff, an old friend of mine.
Gentlemen.
That's interesting you're dropping by right now. We were just discussing the new oil enterprise here in Port Charles. Have you read the prospectus?
Well, not thoroughly. I had a chance to glance over it. It certainly sounds enticing.
Yeah, and I thought it might be a good place to invest some of the hospital funds.
Why not?
Mr. Corso, I don't mean to change the subject, but, do I know you from somewhere?
I don't think so.
Well, if you stick around here long, you sure will. Before this is all over, Corso is going to be a household word here in Port Charles.
I see. I see.
So much for breakfast.
Want to start on lunch? Or is your appetite satisfied?
Oh, my appetite's just getting going.
There's a lot more where that came from.
It's a very tempting offer.
Then don't be a poor and turn it down. Tell me something.
These medical conventions that all these doctors are always going to, is there some reason that they always traipse around the country for no reason? What do you talk about at all these things?
Oh, it's part of the job, I don't know.
Well, do you talk about, the ladies singing, tongue depressors? Or maybe, designer bedpans?
Well, we talk about fun things like that. Mostly we talk about disease.
Lovely, darling.
Yeah, it's our favorite subject.
Yeah, well, why don't you just, save that for the conventions? Don't talk about it now.
No, I have a sneaking suspicion that talk of medical profession is leading somewhere.
Mm-hmm. May I be blunt with you?
Why change now?
I'm serious. I don't want you to go to this medical convention in Atlanta.
That's an incredible coincidence because I don't want to go.
But you're going.
I have to. Why don't you come with me?
What, talk about diseases? I think I'll just, stay here and die of loneliness.
Well, now, that presents me with a bit of a problem.
What?
Well, see, as a doctor, I took a Hippocratic oath to, like, save lives, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're going to go ahead and die, I'm going to have to stay here and do something about it. Or better yet, why don't you come with me on my 2-week vacation? I mean, if you want to think about it, you know, take some time.
No, I'll go pack. Oh.
Wait, don't you want to know where we're going? I mean, you got to know what to pack, right?
Will you just tell me the hemisphere? I don't care. As long as I'm going with you, I don't care where I go. Oh.
Yo! I'll tell you what, we'll do it the true diplomatic, modern, romantic way. You pick the first week, and I'll pick where we go the second week.
Okay, I know exactly where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to Cannes. Absolutely. A wonderful, beautiful terrace.
You got it. You got it, you got it.
Okay, second week.
Oyster Bay. With your permission, I'd like you to meet my parents.
Oh, means I have to be on my best behavior, I guess.
Well, if you don't want to, you just say so.
No, I think it would be an honor to meet your parents.
It will mean spending time in heaven's waiting room.
Heaven's waiting room.
The country club.
Oh, it's wonderful. I love cute little white-haired men.
I wonder if anybody knows how lucky I am.
I do.
I'm sorry, young man, but visits to the ICU patients are limited to 5 minutes an hour.
Just a few more minutes, all right?
I'm sorry, but the hospital is strict about their rules.
Rules.
Can't I just get away from her once in my life?
What was that?
No. I'll be in the waiting room.
Don't you think that practical experience is more important than classroom work?
Honey, I'll say it again. Having student nurses in an ICU situation is risky. A, because they could get in the way. B, because the student nurses I've had to deal with in there just aren't ready for what's going on.
Well, personally, I'd rather have them learning about it now.
But a trauma unit in action is not a pretty sight.
Well, neither is a nurse who panics in an emergency situation.
All right, Audrey, all right. I'll go along, at least on a trial basis.
Aha. I knew you'd agree, thank you. Oh, dear. He's a very unhappy-looking boy.
Hmm? Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, son. Mind if I sit down?
It's your hospital.
I've been examining your mother's chart.
How does it look?
Not very good.
She's been in the hospital plenty of times, you know. Maybe not this bad, but she always pulls through.
So you know why we have her in ICU.
Because she's sick. I know.
Her condition is serious. We have to monitor her vital signs every minute of every day.
What are you trying to tell me, Doc? You trying to tell me she's not going to pull through, huh?
Alcoholism just doesn't disappear, Blackie. She could get out of that bed and walk out of this hospital tomorrow, but she won't be cured. Each bout of heavy drinking takes its toll on the body. Eventually, if she doesn't quit drinking, she'll die from it.
We're all dying, Doc.
I'll save you from that, Charles. It's not true. You were staring at the man from the minute he walked into the restaurant.
Nothing happened. It doesn't matter.
Oh, the hell it does.
But what man?
Dr. Mark Dante.
Good Lord, Daddy. Isn't that the doctor who treated you that day at Ascot?
What happened?
I had one of my seizures. Dr. Dante was in the next box, and Holly asked him to help me.
Well, how extensive was his treatment? Just at the site, or did you continue going to him?
Well, I told him I'd call him, but I never did.
Our regular doctor took it from there on.
What name did you use?
Our own?
Certain.
That was unfortunate.
Well, we weren't working on a project at the time. There was no reason to give him a phony name.
Now that I think of it, I was sporting a beard at the time.
Well, that doesn't seem to have made any difference. He recognized you, yes?
Look, my denial should be enough to squelch his curiosity.
Just make sure you don't have another one of your attacks in front of him, all right?
That's hardly funny.
It's not meant to be. And as for you, Holly, you make sure you stay right out of Dante's way. I don't want him to see you and the pair of you together. He could make the connection. It could just mean trouble.
Seems to me at the moment the only trouble we have is you. Goodbye, Daddy.
Just a minute. We're not through yet.
Well, that's fine. You can finish without me.
You speak to me like that again, and you'll curse the day you were born into this family.
Well, what have we here?
I've seen shorter lines at the unemployment.
Well, I guess pushing in is always an option.
Well, I don't think that's necessary, Robert. I'm going to call Holly. Do you have a dime?
Well, somewhere. Wait a minute. Now, you're the oil typhoon. Where's your change?
I only have $100 bills.
Oh, I thought you were serious there for a minute. Who are you calling?
I said I'm
Oh, well, you're calling Holly.
Right.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is the line for food stamps, isn't it?
Excuse me?
Little attempt at levity there. You know, makes the time go quicker.
If you say so.
Oh, hi, Martha. It's Luke. Is Holly there? Well, do you know where she went? What about Rose? Maybe she knows where she went. She's up to her elbows in what? Well, dry her off and put her on the phone, will you? It's important. I'll wait.
Some gum?
What kind is it?
Plum.
I hate plum.
Of course.
It's not that difficult. What's going on over there? What's the matter with you and Martha? It's not such a big deal. I'm asking you only if you see Holly to please tell her that I'm over here at the hotel checking on Vangelder. Robert and I. You need a day off, darling.
Some gum?
What kind is it?
Plum.
I hate plums.
Can I help you, gentlemen?
What's the matter with her?
I used to date her daughter.
We're looking for Mr. Vangelder's room.
Sorry, you just missed him. He checked out a moment ago.
Do you know where he went?
The airport, I believe.
Damn. We still got time. Get the car. I'll call Holly back. You got a dime?
What is it with you?
I don't have a dime, man.
You actually want my opinion?
I want to know your solutions to our problems.
There is only one solution, Basil. We get out. This Dr. Dante complication is a warning to all of us.
And perhaps to the cowards amongst us, but not to me.
Father will agree. It's the only viable solution. We should take the $750,000 and leave town immediately.
You're absolutely wrong. Especially when you say your father will agree with you. Charles?
At this point, I'd rather not risk an opinion.
Because you know we can't get out at this point without a great deal of risk.
If you ask me, continuing is the greater risk.
Oh, really? And on what do you base that conclusion?
On common sense. The walls are closing in on us.
Oh, my dear, the walls are always closing in. It's the nature of this business.
Look, after all, you have to admit that this operation's been different. Too many unknown occurrences.
You want to get out, too?
I didn't say that.
No, and you better not, either of you. There's still a great deal to do.
We've done everything humanly possible.
Oh, my dear, we haven't even begun.
They have 3 drill holes spewing water. Half the town is running to put their money into the escrow account.
Precisely why we must continue to wait.
For what?
For the escrow account to be full, and that, Holly, is what you should be concentrating on.
I can't force people to invest their savings.
No, but you're going to have to convince Luke to release that money from escrow. Charles and I can take care of everything and anything except that. Now is the time for you to pull out all your womanly powers and just go to work on him.
I won't promise you anything.
You don't have to. Just remember, the sooner you get that money out of escrow and into our pockets, the sooner you can get your father back to his own doctor in England. Then, and only then, can any of us begin to even think about relaxing.
Hi there.
Oh, hi. What are you doing here?
I was on my lunch break, so I thought I'd drop by and see you. Tiffany told me you were here.
Sit down.
I brought you a sandwich. I hope you like egg salad.
It's my favorite.
Your mother's pretty bad, huh?
She'll get better.
I hope so.
Man, just don't sweat. I've played the scene plenty of times. She always pulls through.
This must be very hard for you.
What?
I don't know, living with someone who's...
Someone who's a drunk? Was that what you were going to tell me? Well, go ahead and say it, okay? Because I heard it plenty of times, you know? Instead of, hey, Blackie, your old lady wears army boots, it was always, hey, Blackie, your old lady's a drunk, or your old lady's an alky or something, you know? It's all right. You know, they got plenty of words for being a drunk. But I got just one.
What's that?
That's stupid.
Hey, Blackie, she can't help herself.
Well, maybe she could let someone else help her, huh? Maybe she could let me help her. No, she never wanted my help. She always pawned me off on some relative or something so she could stuff her fat face back into a booze bottle. I used to find them all over the place.
Bottle?
Yeah. Once I found one under the toilet, behind the couch. Funny, this one time I found an empty bottle of gin in the washing machine. In the washing machine, like I wouldn't find it or something, you know? It's just stupid, that's all.
Blackie, maybe her getting ill and everything will help her change her ways.
I wouldn't bet on that.
Blackie, you have to give her a chance.
Yeah, I've given her plenty of chances, okay? This thing ain't gonna change nothing. Thanks for the sandwich.
You leave yet?
I'll assume you're referring to a plane.
The flight to Rochester.
Flight number?
We don't know.
Well, then I can't help you. We've got 2 flights going to Rochester today.
All right, fine. What times did they go?
11 p.m. this evening, and the one that left 5 minutes ago.
We missed him.
Let's get out of here. I'm parked in a red zone.
If you've been there more than 2 minutes, they'll tow you.
Hey, wait a minute. His name is Vangelder. Can you check the flight manifest and see if there was a Vangelder headed for Rochester?
I need special permission to give you that information.
God bless the helpful cooperative types.
But if you're a relative or a personal physician...
I'm a relative. I'm his son, Vangelder Jr.
Dr. Robert Scorpio. It's a real pleasure to meet you. Of course.
Well, I'll need proof from both of you.
Well, my ID's in my wallet. My wallet's in his car.
The one that's probably been towed away. Look, Mr. Vangelder's forgotten his cardiac pills. Now, if we were to know he was definitely on that flight to Rochester, we could simply call ahead and have the pills waiting for him.
Please, help us out. I don't want anything to happen to my old man, please.
No, I'm sorry, gentlemen. No V's boarded that flight.
V's?
People with names beginning with V, including Mr. Vangelder. Unless he took a bus or a train, he's still in Port Charles.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.